Hello, and welcome back to another deck profile. Now, I just realized that the comments on my other videos were off, and that's because I made them kid friendly because I did my best to not curse, and YouTube was like, "Oh, thank you for not cursing," but yeah, now no one can comment on your videos, so I changed that. Of course, I didn't change the voice or nothing. I just changed the fact that it's a kids video, so now everyone should be able to comment on my previous videos. So if you want to, please go for it. And let me know what you guys think about my blue diamond one. But don't worry, for this one, you can definitely comment because I'm going to be cursing like a sailor. So we want to talk. So here is one of my Trinity decks, right? We are doing Sengoku and Vegeta, aka Gogeta Fateful Fusion. All right, he is the Gogeta that made it. So, when you play a battle card using Fusion skill, Union Fusion, draw one card. So Union Fusion, you have them in hand, you send them to your drop, and then you fuse, and then you put the fuse card from your hand onto the field as well. All right. When this card attacks, you draw one card, and then you add up to one card from your life to hand. And then you send up to 5 cards from the top of your deck to your warp. It's an activate main once per turn, and I always do this like once or twice because I'm trying to get like this dude out. Next up, we do have our awaken, but we don't awaken like this at all. All right, pay no attention to this awaken because you will probably, if you're me, you're probably awakening at 7 or 8 life every game. So let's talk about our awakened side next. And then he does the same thing with the Union Fusion. When you're using Fuse, once per turn, you draw a card. All right. When he hits card attacks, you draw one card, then send up to 5 cards from the top of your deck to your warp. So they sort of combine your activate main and your auto together, which is nice. You know what I mean? Because again, the up to means you don't have to send anything. So if you see the pieces you want in your warp, you don't have to send anything more, and then you just sort of switch between your drop and warp. And then once per turn, he has his final activate main is once per turn you add one card from your life to hand, choose up to 2 of your black battle cards with the energy cost of 1, and they gain plus 10k power until the end of your opponent's turn. All right, now um the way this deck works, right, is we are trying to kill our opponent by turn 3. Okay? So we will always be adding cards from our life to hand. We will, because we are trying to win by turn 3. We want the game to be done and over turn 3, all right? We don't want you to drag out the game. We don't want you to we're not going to turn 4, turn 5, all right? Because turn 4, our opponent's probably going to beat us. Turn 5, our opponent is definitely going to beat us, okay? Because we don't have draws like we don't have a really good draw engine. We have a really good attack power though. And so that's what we're really homing in on, all right? Now we do have some defensive tools in this deck. So let's talk about our defensive tools first, and then we'll start talking about the fun stuff. So our first one is petrification. All right. In all honesty, I never put 4 petrifications in my black deck, but I definitely feel like 2 to 3 is a good choice. You know what I mean? Because you don't, especially in a deck like this, which is really focused on aggression and using fusion pieces in order for that aggression. So having a lot more pieces in the deck and a lot more cards that do things is more valuable to me than more copies of petrification. All right, because petrification, what it's going to do is going to negate an attack. You discard a card, and then you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignore and barrier, and it can attack, be placed in your opponent's combo area, or activate skills until the end of your next turn. So it basically stops 2 cards from acting up on you. All right, it's a 1-cost card, stops 2 card. 1 card attacks you, you negate this attack, you pick another battle card, and you go, you can't do nothing. All right. It's really good. Like, if your opponent, this is why I never attack with my leader first anymore. Like, normally when I attack, I always go battle card, and then leader, because there's a lot of things that get in the way. There's Stormins. There's a lot of cards that prevent your leader from attack or prevent other battle cards from attacking. So having your battle card bait out those cards first and then swinging with your leader is always going to be a pro move. All right. Unless they make a leader that says draw like 18 gazillion cards, swinging first, even if you get negated. But for the most part, I always swing with battle cards first, because if I swing with a leader card and a petrification, now they negated my attack with my leader and they petrified my battle card. All right, so I normally always swing battle card leader first. Next up, we have Support of the Dark Empire. All right, it's going to negate an attack and play a Demon Realm Soldier token, and it gains blocker. If your life is at 5 or less, you can activate this card's counter from your hand by adding a card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy costs. Will you always be at 5 life? No, you're probably going to be at 3 to 2 life. All right, believe me. Most of the games I've won with this deck, I'm always at 1 life. I'm always at 1 life, 2 life. It's very rare I'm at 3 life, because my goal is to win. Either I win by turn 3 or I lose. So these defensive options are just to stall out the opponent for a little bit, but our goal is to win. So we don't have a lot. We did throw in 3 Bardock Tenacious. Now, the reason we threw in 3 of these home bacons is because they are a really good. Your opponent can't attack. All right, they can only attack with battle cards and leader and unisons. So those are the only 3 cards. So if your opponent doesn't have a unison out, now it forces them to pay energy to throw out a unison. They also have to play a battle card and pick which battle card is going to deal the most damage, and then they have to attack with their leader. So it limits the options that they can do. I was playing this against my red android deck, and that deck swarms you, but Bardock just like stops you. So I had to figure out a way what was going to be my best card to play and figure out a way to deal a lot of damage with it. Next up, we have Demon God Deborah counter. Now, remember, this is for my Trinity deck, right? So if we run into yellow, because I don't know what leaders I'm going to run into, but if I run into yellow, I don't want my skills negated. And plus, this is a Dark Overwhelm 4 and blocker. So he is going to be on the field. And your opponent will probably get rid of him eventually, but they're going to have to spend some cards to get rid of him if he ever sees the light of day. I've never played him, but having him as an option to be played, I feel, is always going to help you. Now let's talk about our super combos. We are running 4 of the Vegeta, the Prince Strikes Back. All right. The reason we're running 4 of these guys is because our life is definitely going to be 4 or less. And he also has Vegeta Xeno at the bottom, so we can use him as a fusion piece. So if he goes to the warp, we can still. It's going to be sad. It's always sad to see your super combos go to the warp, but if he goes to the warp, then at the very least you can still use him to fuse. So he will always be useful, no matter what time of the game you put him in. Next, Revived Ravager Vegeta. He is another Overwhelm card. He has crit, because again, you will have cards in your drop. You will be fusing at times, and it's nice to have Overwhelm cards that you don't pay energy for, all right? Because a lot of your fusions require you to pay like 1 energy. So basically, right, you pay an energy, you union fuse, and then you Overwhelm, throw your fusion pieces back into your warp, get this guy out. So now you have 2 more attacks that you can deal with. Now we have our next big one is Otherworldly Infiltrator. All right, he's Overwhelm 5, and he's crit. And when you play him, you draw a card. So he is going another big piece. I'm just at the moment. We'll talk about that later, but we're just trying to get a balance of Overwhelm cards, because Overwhelm is going to help us recycle our fusion pieces, because we will be fusing, but we'll also be overwhelming to get those pieces in. Now, we do have one of my favorite 1-drops, Son Goku True Fighting Spirit. All right. We don't really care about his first part, but his second part, if your leader card is a Black Saiyan, where your opponent activates a counter skill, they choose 1 card in their hand and send it to their warp. All right. So, and he does have deflect. So even if your opponent tries to negate his play, he has deflect. So he's not. So window one, he can't be affected. Window two, he can still be affected, but your opponent's gonna have to pay a card. So it's like, all right, yes, you kill that guy, but you have to pay 2 cards instead of one. So he's really interesting. I like him, especially because your opponent's gonna be discarding cards anyway for things like dormant. You know what I mean? So if you see dormant, it's like, yeah, all right, you play dormant when I attack. Now you discard a card and you have to send a card from your warp. So you have to play dormant. So you're losing 3 cards. All right. It really makes your opponent, if your opponent's going to be your opponent, you might as well make them pay for being your opponent. You know what I mean? Because they want to win too, and if they want to win, they're gonna have to pay a lot of extra cards for that. Now we do have for Vegeta striking a weak point. He is overwhelm 5, but I don't really like playing him. And the reason I don't like playing him is because yes, I will have 5 cards in my drop most times, but I'd rather play someone that lets me draw a card, or I'd rather play someone cheap. I don't really mind playing him, but I really don't even bother if I'm being honest with you. Normally he's either combo material or he gets sent to the warp, but he is a fusion piece with both Goku and Vegito on it. So that's always nice. And you can't have one without the other. Combo attack. Combo attack is nice. He lets you use a card from your drop in a combo with its skills negated for a turn. And yes, the card must have 5,000 combo power, but that is perfectly a-okay. Do I play him? Absolutely not. All right. Normally, he is just fusion material. All right. Combo material. I don't play him. I don't. He just needs to be in the warp so I can fuse. All right. Because these two, I don't care to play. I just need them. But if I need an extra attack, they do have overwhelm and they're free overwhelms. So you can just throw them out there and do a little bit more damage. Now, so we got our defensive pieces. We got our super combos, and now we have our pieces for the fusion, right? So next on our list, let's talk about the fusions themselves. So with this deck, a lot of the fusions for this deck are really interesting because when you fuse, right, if you look at their permanent, you can choose battle cards in your warp when choosing cards to use with this card's union skill from your hand. If you do, place the chosen cards in your drop area from your warp. All right, so you are basically never, I mean, never using anything from your hand to fuse, all right? You are using everything that you send to the warp using this guy's awesome effect. So you're using everything you send to the warp in order to fuse, all right? Using anything from your hand is just a crazy idea. And it's something I've done, but I only like fuse like 1 card maybe. And that's because I'm missing a piece of my warp, all right? And I need to get a fusion out. Now, Fearless Fusion is nice because he gets rid of one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 less, ignoring barrier, sends it to the warp. All right, he is a 16 blocker, and you can use Son Goku Xeno and Vegeta Xeno in order to fuse him. All right, so I only put 2 of him in because he's not really a super strong fusion. He is just there like turn 2 to help me lay down the attack or maybe stay a bit defensive turn 2. All right. Or help me get rid of some card because there are annoying like turn 4 cards that are annoying and that are protected with barrier, and he just says, "Get out my face. I don't want to see." Now, we do have okay. Yes, we do. All right, so we do have our next fusion is Marshall Mayley. He is also a union. He can also use union pieces from the warp and send them to the drop in order to fuse. He's double strike. He costs 3 energy, and once per turn, you can place a Son Goku Xeno with 5,000 power and 1 Vegeta Xeno with 5,000 power in your drop area from your warp and switch this card to active mode. I've never played this guy. I never really try to play him because, again, we are trying to win by turn 3 and he's 3 energy. So initially I had 4 of him, and then I went down to 2, And now I'm only at one, and the only reason I'm at one is because this is a really nice promo. But there may be a time when you have to play it. But I couldn't justify, like at turn three, I can't justify playing these big guys in order to try to win, even if he's double strike. I just can't justify it. So I don't so I only left one copy in the deck just to have him, but most part I'm probably not playing him because again I'm not expecting to get that far into the game. And then you got to have your one thwarting the Dark Empire. All right, now this guy is nice because he's overwhelmed 6 and he's using infusion, so you can pick one of the two ways to get him onto the field. And again, he uses cards from the drop, or from the warp in order to fuse. And when he attacks, he gets rid of one of your opponent's battle cards. So he again, he's one of, but that one energy is really nice because he is something that you can get onto the field at turn 3 or turn 2, and seeing a turn 2 double strike, that's not something you really want to deal with. Especially because a lot of people tap themselves out on turn 2 in this meta. And I'm really starting to see that as like a crazy idea. Like I don't try to tap out at all turn 2. Or like, because you always need something. You need defensive options if you want to survive. Next on our list is no, we shouldn't actually talk about this card. We should actually talk about this card first because those cards lead up to this card. All right. So first off, we have Marvelous Mike. He's also using Fusion. He has Barrier. So turn 2, you get this guy out, and normally I don't attack with him. I just let him sit there because I don't want my opponent to swing at him. All right. But I might actually have to change that mindset and just swing with everything, honestly. Because even if my opponent, gets rid of him, there is a reason I try to keep him on the field. So, excuse me. So, you pay 1 energy to Union Fuse him, and then he has an Activate main, which can only be activated while he's on the field. You put him at the bottom of your deck, and you play 1 Sun Goku Xeno with an energy cost of 1, and up to 1 Vegito Xeno card with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area or warp. I just realized I don't have any Vegito Xenos with... No, I do. I'm sorry, I'm crazy. So, they just haven't popped up on the field yet. So what's going to happen is you got this guy on the field, right? And then you can get rid of him to play other 1-cost cards, all right? And so, like, what I would do, if for some reason you've got to go to turn 4, right? My combo with him is to get this guy out, because this guy is Union Patara. He is double strike, barrier, blocker. At the end of your turn, you burst 2 and you switch this card to active mode. So you are going to use this guy, turn 3, swing, put it at the bottom of your deck, get a Goku and Vegeta out, add 1 card from your life to your hand, give those guys plus 10k, swing with them, and then you're going to Union Patara them, and now you have a 30k triple strike on the field, and then you swing with that. So you got 4 swings there, and that is the combo that I like. Again, you don't really want to like get to like turn 4. You really want to spend everything you can on trying to get to turn 3, and that's normally like my turn 3 game ender. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then now that only costs 2 energy, right? Because you do the fusion, and then hold up, do these guys have... No. So their skills don't get negated the 1 drops you play. And his skills also don't get negated. That's not what I wanted to say. Yeah, so you pay 1 energy to get him. So turn 3, right? If you go second, right, you should have 4 energy by turn 3. So you're going to play this guy. You're going to do your shenanigans. Then you're going to play this guy, right? Now, if you swing with your leader and they haven't like had a good negation attack yet, this is what you want to have in your hand, a Kraken Space Time, all right? I put 4 in this deck because I want to see a Kraken Space Time in my hand, all right? It is basically a super combo on crack and gives my leader double strike, all right? It can and will win you the game, all right? So having four of them, I might go down to three, but this is a card that I really want to see. So I have four of him in the deck just because I really want to see this card. Another card I have four of is Gogeta Flash. All right. Now, this is your turn two play. This is normally what I play turn two. I want to see it. I'll mulligan for him, but he is basically a turn two triple strike, but you can only play him if your opponent goes first on your second turn. All right. So let me rephrase that. All right. If it's your turn two and you want to play this guy, you need to go second. You cannot play him turn two going first because your opponent does not have two energy. This relies on your opponent having two energy, not you. All right. And then when this card is played, choose up three of your opponent's battle cards and send them to its owner's warp. So you're paying two energy to Union Fuse and another energy to get rid of a bunch of cards. He is a very nice board wipe, but he's truly like he's a very nice board wipe. But I'm never really paying for his second option. I'm really just trying to get him out and then just swing. All right. And your opponent is either going to take that 3 life or they're going to give you a bunch of cards to avoid it. And chances are they're not giving you a bunch of cards to avoid it. All right. Most players will probably always choose to take the life. Now, the last 4 cards on our list is our Vegeta Challenge. So these guys came with the new anniversary box along with the hi Blackbeard. Say hi. So please don't eat my cards. So these 4 and these 4 came with the anniversary box. All right. I basically put if they have 15,000 power or more, it gains barrier and blocker. And when this card attacks or activates a blocker skill, you draw 1 card. So they're going to draw you a card when they attack. And as long as you use your leader effects to give them plus 10k, they will have barrier and blocker. So your opponent just can't get rid of them. All right. It's really nice. And I do love these guys. These are your turn 1 Vegetas. These are your turn 1 Gokus. So these is what you're going to use in order to sort of get this guy out. And if you're lucky, you'll have 2 of these in a drop. Right? So you'll go, again, you'll swing, you'll pay your energy, put this at the bottom, get these 2 guys out, add a card, give these guys plus 10, swing, draw 1, swing, draw 2, Union Patara, swing, double strike. All right. That is the game plan. All right. If you can make it, sometimes you get the triple flash out. You know what I mean? You get a second one of them out, and then you're swinging all these triple strikes. Because here's the thing, all right? The way your game is gonna go for the most part is unless your opponent your opponent is always gonna be at 6 life, all right? And at 6 life, your opponent will not have access. Most super combos aren't active, all right? The ones that need to be active require a bunch of cards to be in a drop. And let's be real, at turn 2, right? There's really no super combos that are going to be activated right then and there. So when you swing with your triple strike, your opponent just can't combo out of it. He's going to have to take that 3 life. All right, turn 2 triple strikes are outrageously disgusting. Okay, but again, this deck only works if you go second. Okay, if you go first, yes, you're gonna be an energy ahead of your opponent, and you probably gonna end up going to turn 4. But this isn't like it's gonna be rougher than if you just go second turn. I don't know. It's a really different change in the gameplay. Yes, I see you, homie. All right, I see you. I literally feel you. And so it's a really different game depending on whether you go first or second. So I always advise go second if you can with this deck. If you go first, be aware that you're gonna want to play a bit more passive. And you're going to want to make sure you use your defensive options and try not to take too much life your first, second turn. But your third turn, take life like a mofo, all right? Take all the life you can. Now, this is only 49 cards. We have one more card left to show you, and that is my secret. And we picked Heroine's Lineage, all right? Now, the reason we picked Heroine's Lineage is because this card can save your life, okay? And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. This card can save your life. If you don't tap out with Bardock Tenacious, if you do your supporting Dark Empire, right? So here's the thing, right? You do Bardock Tenacious, and then you try to swing, and then nothing happens, right? And then your opponent has only one battle card swing. So they put their all into like this big battle card that, because on turn 3 there's a lot of good battle cards you can play. So they're probably going to pick their most important battle card to swing at you with. And then you Heroine's Lineage it. And then they're just going to sit there and be like, what do I do next? Because they can't, you know what I mean? It's Activate Battle is so good. You just pay 1 energy and go, thank you. And now it's yours. And it's, it's most people are not going to see it coming because they're going to expect you to play Cumber. And here's the thing, I don't have Cumber, all right, yet. I'm collecting secret rares now for my decks, but I don't have Cumber yet. I haven't found a good deal for him on eBay. So I'm really not too worried about Cumber, but Heroine's Lineage is a really good defensive option because it's going to help you. It's just going to help you be more secure in going into turn 4 if you have to. All right, believe me, you don't want to go to turn 4, but if you have to, if you truly have to go to turn 4, this card, you need things to help you, and these cards will help you get to that last turn. Now, we've got to talk about our Z deck next because that is one of the most important pieces of this deck, right? And actually, I'd argue it's probably it's not the most important, but it's definitely the second most important because you need to have it's only really important for 1 or 2 cards. All right. So hold up. Let me check. All right. Let's do this. So we're going to talk about our non-important cards first. Dimensional Sun Goku, Dimensional Fighting Spirit. All right. It is very easy to get plus 10k power, and I think he's a real interesting card because he is an energy cost of 1, so you can target him with your ability, making him a 25k double strike. And so, you know what I mean? 25k double strike. You will have cards in your Z energy. You just will. Sun Gohan Journey Through Time. I don't really play this guy, but he's just there to make up the numbers. Vegito, Union of Sparks. Same thing. They're just there to make up the numbers. Super Saiyan 4 Barrage. Again, just there to make up the numbers. I don't really play this guy. We do have our Z Extra. First Kamehameha, Mighty Blast. But again, this is like a staple in any black deck. You might play it. You might not need to play it. I hope you never run into when you need to play it. But yeah, it's just there to be there. And then we have Boo, Pure Destroyer. He is nice to take cards from your opponent and just give your opponent something else to worry about. You know what I mean? He's another, because here's the thing, you're going to want to have some other 1 cost options in your Z deck so you have more swings, because more swings means more attacks, which means more succeeding, which means your opponent losing more life. I should have just said more swings means less life for your opponent. That would have been better. So that's what I'm going to say. More swings equals less life for your opponent. Yes, Blackbeard. You are adorable. And then we have our Kingpin of our Z deck. This is what you're going to play every game, all right? And I keep 2 of them in my deck, but you will always play this card. So if this card is in rest mode, your Gogeta Xeno cards get plus 5k power. So your leader is going to get plus 5k, your fusions are going to get plus 5k, as long as this card is in rest mode. All right. So your opponent is already going to lose another card trying to combo out of your leader swings. All right. Out of all your swings. And then if your leader's backside is Gojira Fateful Fusion, and you send one card from your hand to its owner's warp, when this card is played, draw one card and flip your leader to its backside. Now, let me explain. So basically, right, when you play this card, you're gonna send one card from your hand to the warp. You're gonna flip this guy over, and you're gonna draw a card, right? So if you are going first turn, you're going to awaken on your second turn. All right, so you're probably gonna be at 7 life. If you are going second, excuse me, that means you're going to attack first. So what's going to happen is you're going to swing, draw, activate main. You're going to activate main. You're going to swing. You're going to draw one card, add a card from your life to your hand. You're going to combo. Then you're going to pay your 1 energy, and you're going to get her out on the field. All right? And then you're going to choose to awaken. And then you're going to swing with and then you can swing with her. She does have barrier, so you can decide whether or not you want to swing with her. Normally what I do is I add another card from my life to hand using his effect, and then I swing with her for 20k and bring my opponent down to 6. And then next turn, right, if I have my triple strike ready, I try to get him out on the field, and then I swing with my triple strike. And then I'm probably gonna do Bardock Tenacious. I might tap out to do Bardock, or keep 1 so I have petrification ready, and then I negate an attack from my opponent, and then I take another life during my 3rd turn, and I just try to go all out there. Even because here's the thing, unless if they dormant me on turn 3, that does slow me down, but it also gives me time to sort of swing at my opponent turn 4. Because again, the more cards you don't have the card draw for a long game, but you do have the power to end your games on turn 3 or turn 4. All right. So you're going to, even if your opponent goes to turn 4 and you see Purunga or something crazy, you know what I mean? You're going to see cards anyway, so you might as well just swing as many times as you can so you can take as much life from your opponent. All right, because again, the faster you kill your opponent, the better this deck is going to work out. The longer it takes for you to beat your opponent, the less likely what you want to do is going to work out for you. So yeah, I think that's it. We kept the deck at 50 because I only need, like, if I could have a 40 card deck, I'd take out another 10 cards because there's only so many cards you really need in this deck. All right, to make it work. A lot of the cards here are just maybe you could do with a few more defensive options to sort of protect yourself, but I really feel like where I'm at with this deck right now, I feel really good with it. I don't really like rushing to try to get I don't really feel like rushing to sort of get to my to get that win, you know what I mean? But you might be playing 3 games there, and with your Trinity format, you know what I mean? 3 games can take a minute. All right, it can take a long time because they are not like 20-minute shows here. All right, it could take half an hour for each match. So having something quick that can cut down the match in about 10 to 15 minutes, I feel is definitely going to help me save my mental energy. Because this is probably either, if I go second, this will probably be my first deck I play, or if I lose, this might be my second deck. It's definitely going to be it's either my opener or it's going to help me get into the 3rd game if I lose the first game, which I don't plan on. But you know what I mean? It's definitely got potential. I like where it is right now. I think all I need at this moment is just a few. I need some more games against Zamasu decks because I don't play Zamasu often, so I don't really know what it. So when I play Zamasu, I'm sort of like you know what I mean? I don't like that. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I don't have nothing else to really talk about here. Um, Let me know your thoughts on it, and let me know if you guys have any recommendations. You know what I mean? Especially for my Black Z deck, because again, you know, I haven't been playing this game as long as like I started in with Ultimate Advent, so you know, there's like 26 sets of cards that I really don't know, and I only find out on the fly. So if you have any recommendations, you know what I mean, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. I definitely want to hear your recommendations. And also, don't be afraid to go back to my blue video if you had comments and you couldn't type before. Believe me, you can now, all right? I promise I fixed that. And so, yeah, this is going to be my video of the week. And look forward to next week with my next deck profile. Of course, actually, I might do my blue Gogeta this week. I might do that this week and then throw it out for you guys to judge me really harshly. I'm kidding. But yeah. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you all later. Have a good day and peace.